Hello and welcome to another episode of the All About the Balls podcast. We are three mates who love catching up and talking about sport. One of us has opened the batting with Scotland cricket coach Shane Berger and has never lost a rugby match. One of us has injured three of his own teammates in the same hockey match and also was killed by his own mother in a student movie as a kid. And one of us has shaken hands with both Jimmy Savile and Prince Andrew and holds a world record for the longest game of darts. My name is Ollie, and with those impressive achievements still ringing in your ears, let me introduce you to my co-hosts, Ian and Gareth. Boys, how the bloody hell are you?
Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah, good. Little bit tired, but don't know why. Just normal kids being shits.
Yes, I can second that. I'll second that one. So, you two have very patiently waited for me while I played the let's see who can go to sleep first game with my son. I lost.
And you lost. Yeah.
He woke me up so I could come and do the podcast.
He was actually texting us from the bedroom. Yeah. I'll get in there in 5 minutes.
Yeah, that was actually him just going, I don't know what's happened. He told me he had a podcast and he's fallen asleep. So, but I'm here. I'm awake. I'm all good. So
I did like it as we were like trying to agree timings over WhatsApp, where Gareth, you were explaining you having problems with bedtime and stuff, and then Boise, father of two lovely kids, just came on and went, "Yeah, kids can be dicks."
Never a more accurate phrase is used. I mean, we all love them. Let's not blur those lines, but
absolutely.
This is not that podcast. This is a different podcast.
Yes. Now, look, we've got a lot to cover today. We're going to talk a bit of cricket as England have wrapped up the final test of the series and have put in a commanding 3-1 series win. We'll talk a little bit about the FA Cup and a little bit about the domestic rugby scene. But then our big thing today is our latest in the greatest teams of the decade series. We've done Test cricket, we've done Premier League 11, and today we are going to do the greatest World Rugby 15 from the past decade. Should be an exciting selection meeting. But before we dig into all of that, any funny stories from the weekend or the last week, chaps?
I had my first ever Burns night evening.
Oh, did you?
Nice.
Which was excellent. I'm a fan of haggis. I'm going to put it out there.
Yes.
Oh, I love it.
It's an absolute deliciousness of stuff. Mate, and just good.
You're in a safe space here.
Yes.
Mate.
Yeah.
I
do not love whiskey, especially yesterday. Could not even stomach the roast chicken I cooked. I was so hungover. I drank for Scotland.
Yeah.
And lost.
Yeah.
What did you have with the haggis?
Nips and tatties.
A lot of whiskey.
Nips and tatties. Nice. Cauliflower cheese. One of the guys addressed the haggis for us. Really? We realised that bagpipe music on Spotify tends to go on for a very long time, and there is not a very good Braveheart soundtrack. So we also played Pictionary 4-on-4, and I mean, you guys know me pretty well. I'm not a great winner or a great loser. I will admit that. I've never played against four people, and quite a few of those people listen to this podcast. But they were right in our face every time they won around, to the point it was comical. And one of the mums just said to me, "Don't bite, just don't rise to it. I know you want to, but don't rise to it." So I tried to be good. I don't know how good I was, but I tried to be good. But it was a very good evening. I think we rolled into bed at 2:30, and you could tell it was four sets of parents that. No responsibility, and pushed the boat out way too far into the Scottish locks.
I'm impressed.
It's amazing. That is impressive.
But yeah, it was good. Good fun.
Impressive.
Good fun.
So, well, I mean, that
I love haggis. I love lamb.
Again, just to be clear, we are still looking for sponsorship as a show, and we are open to anything from Visit Scotland.
Max Sween's haggis is delicious. And the vegetarian vegan one was very nice, actually.
I imagine that being quite nutty. I'm actually heading to
and the haggis.
And the haggis. Really. I'm heading to Edinburgh not this weekend but next weekend to see England Scotland.
Oh, nice!
Thanks for the invite.
So I
Did you get that message?
No, I must have missed it on the WhatsApp group.
So cancel him from the cricket this year. I'll tell you that much for free.
Well, I mean, if it's any consolation, I am going on my own. I got bought a ticket for Christmas, so I'm going on my own. This is like an Ollie adventure, which involves driving for about 16 hours there and back. So yeah.
I mean, that is a great present.
Who got you the ticket?
Well, I can tell you because she doesn't listen to the podcast. It was my wife, so she doesn't.
Does she not like you at the moment? Is that, I mean, tell you what, I'm going to send you a round trip.
You're not a bit suspicious? Not the time. Not the time.
Not the time. Not on a public forum like this.
This is our podcast happy
All
hour.
58 listeners are going to be going, that's odd.
I think, Can we get a poll going? Is this a nice, generous thing where my wife's gone, oh, you love rugby, here's a nice Christmas present? Or is it, what's the best way to get you out of the house for a whole weekend and make it seem like I'm being the nice person?
At least you didn't buy you a game for like Tonga, Fiji or something that you had to go all the way to the Pacific Islands on a round trip for 3 days on a boat to go and watch.
Anyway, but I tell you, the only interesting thing that happened to me this weekend was on Sunday afternoon. For you guys, have you got like a WhatsApp group of for your class school parents?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's pretty common thing, I think. And in our one on Sunday, what I thought, I need your views here, whether I'm sort of overreacting and something like that, but I thought is the most amazing comment from someone on a WhatsApp group. So all the parents are perfectly friendly. Everyone's nice. I don't think we're really close class group. It's not like we're really best mates or anything like that. Like everyone gets on
not
fine,
anymore.
But there's not that much. Yeah, no. There's not a whole
Ollie
lot
has
of
left the group.
yeah, exactly. Unsubscribe. Like with other parents, really good friends with some of our best mates, with some other parents, some other classes. But in this group, we've never quite gelled and whatever. Haven't done that much together. No, hang on, no. They're all lovely people. It's just, yeah. No, they're all lovely people. We've just never done that much socialising together, kind of stuff. And the group is pretty much focused on what's going on at school. There's no banter about, jokes or whatever. So just setting the scene there for kind of the tone of this WhatsApp group. And then one of the mums comes on Sunday afternoon and says, look, is there any chance that someone can pick up little Johnny on Tuesday afternoon because wraparound care is fully booked and I've got to go to a speed awareness course? And I was like, what?
Incredible.
Sorry, hang on. What? And then all these other replies started coming in, all from other mums, I should add. All going, oh, they're a massive pain in the arse, aren't they? Yeah, I had to do one last year. Another one coming and going, yeah, I'm on my second now. They really are frustrating at the times they organise them. And then another one was like, yeah, they are quite frustrating, aren't they? Like, there should be some kind of dispensation for busy mums having to pick up kids. Like, what?
Incredible.
Sorry, am I...
Wrong.
And so my question is like, am I overreacting here going, hang on, we all seem quite casual about breaking the speed limit here. Just in quite an open forum.
Yeah. I don't know. I think, it's a bit of a strange direction for it to go.
Yeah. And again, it's, if it was like, for example, if I said to you guys, hey lads, sorry, I can't do the pod on Monday, got busted doing 40 and a 30, got to do one of those speed awareness. That'd be one thing. But just within a group of parents, some of whom are then going to be like, oh, shall I pick up Tommy for the play date? You're like, no,
No, Lewis
you don't
Hamilton,
come anywhere
you must
near
not.
my child with a car. Yeah. Anyway. So are we? I'm not overreacting. Then are we?
No.
I think it's a strange lane to go down.
Strange.
Yeah, strange things to
Literally
bond
strange
over,
lane.
but
Very fast.
it seems
maybe this is the
that
turning point.
Yes,
Maybe
exactly.
this is where we bond. Maybe this is where we bond over
Yeah.
various criminal activities we've all done.
a group drag racing trip.
Yes.
perhaps,
Oh,
is
yes.
the next.
To Edinburgh and back.
Yeah. Now I've
But you can
said
only
it out
go
loud.
as a solo.
Yeah. Now I've said it out loud. I think it is weird that I'm going to Edinburgh on my own. Anyway, I'll be an interesting conversation with the missus. So, cricket, guys. Hopefully, it's not a surprise to anyone. England have wrapped up the fourth and final test with another innings innings plus victory.
Yeah.
Over a very sorry South Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying not to get too excited about it.
I was going to say, from your side, Boise, then, as our England correspondent, where are you on this?
As I said, trying not to get too excited. I think what has been started off as a pretty bad tour, England just seem to be having really bad luck over illness and injuries, has actually ended where we've got, 6 bowlers who are all bowling well and fighting for 3 spots. And then the batting lineup is looking a little bit more decided maybe, but there's certainly competition. I think you can look in the home series is going to be really good because I think Denley, I think he's struggling for his place or fighting for his place perhaps, but then he got almost got a ton in the Ashes and against a very good Australian attack, so he should probably have a bit more of a chance. Crawley's looking good and could bat at 3. Burns is still coming back. Stokes looks in excellent form. Root's picking up form. Pope looks amazing. I'd say it's only Butler that's not necessarily in form, but I mean, I'd keep on giving him a chance. Folkes didn't have a good season with the bat last year. I wouldn't drop Butler for Bairstow. Again, I think that would be a step back. But
so on that, do you think Johnny Bairstow's time in the Test side is done now?
I think certainly for unless he has a good championship summer, I think yes. I think they've got to either stick with Butler, who I think is probably the better batsman of the two, or go with Folkes. But I can't see them doing that just because Butler's got a lot of he's had a lot of good innings, so I'd stick with him. But bowling wise, I just think it's amazing. Everyone has stepped up. So Curran is looking good, and you thought his place was assured. But Wokes had a really good Test match, and he only came in because Archer was injured. And I mean, you've got Anderson, Archer injured. Wood has been amazing. I think the good thing as well is that Anderson, Wood, and Archer have all got to be managed, because I think otherwise they can't play 5 tests back to back. So I think if you rotate them, I still think Anderson and Broad should be bowling together, and then one of the others, and then rest Anderson potentially for a test or 2, and bring the others in. But I think it bodes really well for the future.
Yeah. On the flip side, Mr. Lautenberg, and not wanting to heap all of South Africa's expectations and woes on you, but really, really tough series for South Africa.
Yeah, I mean, we won the Rugby World Cup, so I don't really. Sorry,
Too soon, mate.
That's my default of any time anyone's mentioned cricket in the last 2 weeks of work. I just go, yeah, but we won the. So, yeah, I think. Look, I mean, I think I said this last week. Mark Boucher's got one hell of a job on his hands to try and sort that, or try and develop that team. I think, obviously, Faf du Plessis came out and said he is retired. Well, he's stepping down from Test cricket at the end of the West Indies tour, which I think is in July or whenever it is. So he's got 2 Test matches left.
It does feel like he's kind of walking before he's pushed.
Yeah, I mean, I think
off the back of this series.
I mean, he's 35. He's not in great form. I think. Look, I think that's obviously played to a degree. But I think he was probably thinking about that. He wanted to go till the T20 World Cup. I think that was his plan. But now they've named Quinton de Kock as the white ball captain. So he'll be the white ball captain moving forward. So even though Faf's available to play, he's not captaining anymore, which I think is a good thing. I think Graham Smith is not afraid to make big decisions. He was a big decision in himself to be made captain. I think he'll be pretty ballsy the way he approaches stuff. And I think they need a proper shake-up. But Hendricks, the left armour, looked actually not too bad in the second innings. He got a fifer. So I'm trying to take some positives from that. He got a fiver when they were about 400 odd ahead. So
no, I think he found a fiver in his pocket.
Yeah.
I think that's what they were saying. That was the highlight.
Well, that's a lot of money in South Africa, so let's take that. So you could feed a small family for a week. Do you? Well, if you want to keep playing South Africa every week, that what?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Every team needs to go through this.
Yeah.
They need a really bad series where to just properly shake it up. And I think England against Australia and New Zealand didn't shake it up at all. They didn't make the changes they needed, and they just looked void of ideas. Whereas I think if South Africa, get a new captain. They've got a good few young players, and de Kock is world class, isn't he? I mean, he's good. If it wasn't for Kumar Sangakkara, he would have made our team of the decade, wouldn't he?
Yeah,
so I think, and Rabada's good. Rabada made the team of the decade. That's how good he is. So I think they'll be all right.
Yeah, the problem is they've had a bad year. The World Cup, they were poor. In India, I know India's a tough place to go, but they were poor. I think my worry is I don't know it doesn't look like there seems to be people coming through. At least, like you say, if you have a bad series and you go, okay, we're going to make some wholesale changes and we're going to be a bit creative and give some youngsters a go, whatever. But they don't seem to be stepping up. I don't know. You never know. Van der Dussen's playing well. He got 98.
Yeah, he looked very good.
So he's actually, and bear in mind he's batting 3 there. So he'll be a good cricketer for us for the next 3-4 years because he's 30, so you'll have a good 3-4 years. I don't know what he's like. Maybe he's he's captain or whatever, but I don't know much about him from that side. But yeah, I think chalk it up to experience. Boucher took over about a week before the series started properly. They had a huge bunch of changes, so I think it was England on the up, South Africa on the way down, to sort of then hit rock bottom and then go from there. So, mixed bag, that series for me.
I think one of the from an England point of view, I think one of the things that was really, I guess, impressive and kind of reassuring and was that the spirit within the team seems really strong. Like, to fight back after that first test, they seem to have worked really hard together and have a good spirit together, and that'll get them through some of those times when maybe they don't get quite as many runs and the form drops off a little bit. They can keep that spirit together. I worry that sometimes it seems to rely too much on Stokes. I mean, he's just incredible, but like in the last couple of games, others have definitely contributed to the overall win, either with wickets or runs. So that's quite reassuring.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think they've got a couple of tests in Sri Lanka, haven't they?
Yeah.
So,
2 tests in Sri Lanka before heading home. And I think, is it the Windies in Pakistan?
Which I think will be really interesting. I think.
Yeah, they're not gimmies, are they, at all?
No, they're not. But at the same time, it will be interesting to see whether England should win them. Certainly, they
England
should win
go
both
unbeaten
of them.
now.
And it's the style that they go about it. Hopefully, they'll absolutely go out and smash them. And
they could go on quite a nice run now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Should be good. Should be good.
Yeah. One thing I was going to say, and this is not trying to wind you up at all, Gareth, but South Africa at home, there always seems to be a little bit of niggle between them and the opposition. Like when it was Australia last time, I was very happy to accuse Mr. Warner et al. Of being the dicks in residence and causing all the problems. But
what resident?
But again, this time there's plenty of niggle from both sides, not just from South Africa, but from both sides. But the Saffers do seem to bring it out of the
opposition. I mean, we're in the South Africans are an abrasive bunch, aren't they? That's partly how they play all their sport. They are
very much the sandpaper of the cricket world.
Well, exactly. It's readily available in South Africa, apparently. I think they just even I think when England were like 450 ahead or whatever it was, Patterson or whatever his name is having a chat with someone trying to roll them up. I'm like, read the room. Just read the room. I mean, walk back to your mark bowl and just go to third man again. I don't know what. I get you trying to get pumped up, but I mean, it's hardly going to. But I think that's just the way they are. They want to. Part of the makeup is to try and get under people's skin. I mean, it doesn't help when you're chasing about 4,012 runs to win. So it's slightly an irrelevant point, but it's more the spectators that seem to be getting under people's skin in this match.
Stokesy.
Did you see that when he got out in the second innings, he just ran straight up the tunnel?
Very sensible.
It's a bull ring and a hostile place to play when they have to put a protective thing. Yeah. But that was more for Merv Hughes, because was it Merv Hughes or David Boone? One of the two. He stuck his bat through and tried to hit someone with he got so much stick a few years ago. That's why they put the thing over, because someone was giving him so much chat that he stopped and stuck his bat through the fence and was trying to hit him like that. It's just class. You think it would have been funny if he grabbed it and just ran off with the bat.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's hostile. The Wanderers is hostile.
It is. Well, do you know what? It has been a fantastic, entertaining series. And that's easy to say
for England.
England. Yeah. But even, I mean, I guess, it must be, South Africa have struggled, but it has been entertaining. There's always been a lot of stories going on. It's been really nice to see some of the younger lads, particularly from both sides, to be fair, sort of step up and start making a name for themselves. So yeah. Now, FA Cup, literally the final whistle has just gone on the Arsenal game, where they had 10 minutes of extra time.
VAR?
There was VAR, but so Arsenal were 2-0 up, and 5 minutes into extra time, Bournemouth scored, and then had another 5 minutes to try and get an equaliser. It seems like quite a scrappy game there at the end. But FA Cup time. Any big stories, big shocks for either of you out of the weekend?
Well, obviously Shrewsbury.
Yes.
Substitute coming on, 2 goals. Jurgen Klopp's gone, we're having a winter break, so our kids are just going to play the next one.
Yeah, he's not even, he's like, I'm not doing it. I'm not involved. He's outsourcing it totally.
He's on annual leave that day. He's gone out of office.
Yeah, I think he's outsourcing it some call centre in Vietnam.
What do you think about that, Ian?
I think it's great. Good on him.
It gives other people a chance to maybe win the FA Cup. That's the good thing.
Well, I heard someone say when people were complaining about it that his mission is to win the Premier League and the Champions League for a second year in a row. Which, if that's his objective, then go for it. Why bother with the FA Cup? If it's going to increase your chance to win the Premier League and the Champions League, do it.
Well, I
might get this wrong, but didn't years ago when Man United were dominating everything, and that is quite a while ago, but didn't they get a whole load of grief when they said something like, we might not play the FA Cup this year?
Well, they didn't. They skipped the FA Cup.
Did they back out entirely? And they got a load of grief.
Yeah, it was.
Was that because Ferguson had an issue with the FA, not because of fixtures?
Well, it was because of the Super Cup, wasn't it?
Oh, so they just couldn't play.
So they were going there, but I imagine that his thing with the FA probably didn't help it. I mean, Liverpool had the same thing this year, didn't they? And they just played a team of kids. But
literally, they were kids.
But all these teams are building massive squads to cope with all these fixtures. So I don't see a problem with it. And the thing
that's got to be a good thing, surely.
Yeah, I think so, because everyone goes on about the glamour of the FA Cup or the
romance,
the magic of it. But it really, like, if you're one of the lower teams who aren't going to win a trophy, that is what it's all about. It's like great if you have a cup run. Speaking as a Palace fan, it was great the year we got to the final of the FA Cup and lost to a very, very poor Man United team. But I think that's what makes it good. So if the bigger teams aren't in it for whatever reason, they're getting knocked out. So
I mean, it opens it up for the smaller teams like United to have a good run.
Exactly. And fair play, they're back, aren't they? You got to be, you got to think. Turned the season around, 6-0 victory against Tranmere. Who
I tell you what, though, Harry Maguire's goal was an absolute worldie. Can't defend very well, but you see, you can't. I mean, he's paid for himself there. That goal against Tranmere is worth every penny.
It's not our money. It's not our money.
It's not our money. It's very true. It's not our money.
It's not our money. Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. Like, surely, and I speak as someone who has never played quite at the top level of professional football, but I assume that in terms of order of preference, it's something like Premier League, Champions League, and then the FA Cup, maybe ahead of the Europa League. I don't know, but like, the other two come first without a doubt.
Yeah,
Premier League and Champions League.
Yeah.
The only thing I'd say is last year, and I'm not a fan of this club either, but Man City did try and win everything.
Yeah.
Yes, and they did not shy away from any situation in terms of. Yeah. They literally tried to win they went in expecting to win every cup.
Yeah. But if they hadn't won a Premier League
in 30 years, would they have done that?
Yeah, like, and exactly. Like if they were chasing down their
never
first
won the Premier League
title. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I just need to keep doing that for as long as I can until it's mathematically impossible, because I will never be able to say that again, ever.
Yeah, you haven't got long until... Yeah, exactly. Mate. Every
never
point you need to say
never won the Premier League. Brighton, I'm talking about Brighton, just so we know.
Yeah. Okay, but anything else from anybody from the weekend of football?
Sport.
Quins pretty impressive against Sarries, weren't they?
Oh, mate, that was an incredible game. I tell you, that was very, very impressive. What was also quite scary in a way was who's the Quins number 8, Don Brandt?
Yeah.
Outrageous, and he's not in the England squad.
Yeah.
Can we see his payslip before we talk about anyone? I refuse to talk about any players in the Premiership Rugby unless I've seen the payslip now. or at least their image rights and how they work that out.
Oh man, I tell you, it is. It must be an accountant's wet dream to be going through all this kind of stuff. Like, the spreadsheets that must be involved in all this kind of bullshit.
It's just too much.
Have you seen Chris Ashton has come out? I think it's today. Just saying that he didn't realise it was a salary cap breach, and that he thought it was genuine that Nigel Ray just had an interest in investing in property, and that he came along to see the house with him, and he just gave him a loan, just like you get from a bank. It's ridiculous.
I did feel sorry for the players, because the players that got named, because I think Sky News got the report leaked to them and then published it, but it included all the players' names, where I think what Premier Rugby were planning to do was publish the report but with the names blanked out or something like that, or not making specific reference to any players. And poor Ashton, I think, was on
Darrow Mitoji. Bish Nashton.
But Ashton was on. He was on the BBC Rugby Union Weekly podcast the day before, commenting on it, and I wasn't saying anything that contradicted what they came out, but he was definitely, look, it's one of these things, and it just doesn't seem fair, and it must be tough for those involved. And then the next day, Chris Ashton was one of the reasons why Saracens were over the salary cap.
He's probably thinking, you idiots, why do you know there's a salary cap? What are you doing?
And I think Danny Kerr was on there teasing about how big is your pad in St Albans? Yeah. And then literally the next day it comes out, well, actually,
that's class, absolute class. Although, did you listen to the rugby podcast that's got Andy Good, there's Jim Hamilton, and they had Brendan Fenser on, obviously, who was at the start of there was a lot of Twitter wars going on between them. And then Brendan Fencer, to his credit, came on the podcast and discussed it all. And obviously he was there in the beginning of Winterry's, like 10 years ago when they started this whole journey. Yeah. And he raised some very good points that he thinks it's more the culture than the money that's created the situation in terms of, that's made them as good as they are. The salaries aren't really, he said that, and he named players. They used to have ridiculously good players, like Tim Horan was there. Castagnet was there in the early 2000s, and he said they were rubbish as a club comparably to what, he said it's actually, he doesn't believe it's down to that salary situation. Yeah. I don't agree with it, and he's going to say that, but he just doesn't seem to think it's, he said it's what they built.
I think he's a doctor, but he should be a salesman. Like, He was so convincing.
Have you listened to it?
Yeah.
And
literally, you can see they're saying but Brendan, they have been caught spending millions over the salary cap. And then by the end of him finishing talking, you're like, no, I mean, I see your point. Like, what is money?
It's like,
hang on. He would not concede anything at all.
He's funny, isn't it? It is good. He made some good points. One of our avid listeners, Darren, in Dubai, also, he sent some really good points into me. I think, he just in terms of the way things have been allocated, and it's a lot of interpretation. They've got someone's valuing someone at this much, and someone's valuing him this much, and then which one do they choose? And his arguments was PwC's valuation was much higher than the salary cap manager, or the guy that runs the salary cap for the Premier League. And strangely, they've gone with the salary cap guy, not the guys who are basically the experts in valuing stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, and we could go down a bit of a rabbit hole here, but there are parts of it. I mean, I think they were definitely doing wrong. And they've got caught and they've been punished. But there is quite a bit of it there, exactly like you say on the Maro Itoje image rights, where I think my understanding is that the Premier Rugby, when they actually accepted that PwC's valuation was what they it's acceptable, but we're going to go with the one that our salary cap manager has decided is the right one. So they weren't saying, oh, that is hideously out, that's dodgy, that valuation, you've clearly called in a favour or paid a bung or something like that. That is astronomically not acceptable. They said, no, that is acceptable, but actually we're going to go with the one that our salary cap manager got instead. You're like, well, hang on a second. What? Yeah. So again, even there, the nuance within it makes you feel like this isn't clear and easy to understand. But
I think this will rumble on for a little while, and there'll be some very strange things. But I don't know.
There will be. There's
see.
still a lot of questions to be answered,
exactly.
And we do not have the answers, and we're not even going to try now. But that does segue nicely into our latest in the series of best sporting teams of the decade, and this week it's the best rugby world 15 of the past decade. Gentlemen, are you ready?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm going to say I've called in some rugby correspondents to try and help me. Well, when I say rugby correspondents, I've got one person to help me.
This is Darren, isn't it? It's like
ditto.
Yeah.
But not Darren.
So we've, I was taught a long time ago, always play to your strengths and surround yourself with good people. And I've done that exactly when it comes to rugby, because I would have basically just picked the Springbok 2019 Rugby World Cup winning team.
Can't do it too soon. So where should we start? One or 15?
One.
Okay.
Sorry, but one.
Yeah, all right. That makes sense. Okay, so who wants to start?
I think you should, Ollie. I think you.
You are the rugby lead.
Yeah.
Well, mate, that's very kind. So, I mean, I've gone for the Beast.
Oh, me too.
I've gone for the Beast.
Well, it was a toss up between him and Mako Vunipola.
Nice.
But I'm. Some of the notes we've made is that he looks like he's 50. I don't think that's really valid, but I'm also. I think you've got to go. You've got to go for Tendai. Tendai Matawara at number 1 for me. Without a doubt.
Legend.
Rugby World Cup.
I think he needs to go in just because everyone shouts beast whenever he gets the ball, which is brilliant.
Yeah.
Yes.
That in itself is enough.
Yeah.
No matter where he's playing.
Yeah.
Just absolute legend.
I just in his garden with his kids, and just thought his wife's just shouting "Beast."
Yeah.
Absolute ledge. If anyone has not seen this, you need to watch him doing the Superman lift when he was. I don't know if you've ever seen that. When
I haven't seen this.
He lifts up a lock at a kickoff, and the lock goes head backwards, and he holds him just with his triceps, basically, and then calmly puts him back down. It is. Social media manager, can you please post that, because it is phenomenal.
We will post that. We will post that. That is outrageous. You're absolutely right. So, okay, the Beast in at number 1. Number 2. Who's our hooker, gentlemen? I've got some of these were like kind of hard to even come up with any other options, really. But I've gone with Dane Coles. I just think he's outrageously good.
Agreed.
Okay, just to throw a spanner in the works. Skull Brits.
Get Out.
Yeah.
Legend.
Yeah.
Happy.
Yes.
40. He's about 700 years old. Looks good. Yeah. He's got good chat. He takes the piss out of people. Runs around. He's got the step out of nowhere. I am just naming a Springbok side right now.
Did you when you asked Darren to do this side? Did you say I want the side that looks the oldest but actually
plays the youngest?
Your first 2 comments.
So, I mean, we could go. I mean,
no. Dane Coles was also what it was there. So I think if we've got 3 people, we're going Dane Coles.
Maybe we should have Schalke in there as like mentor, because he's been everywhere. He's done everything. He's a bit of a legend. He's a bit of a hero.
It's up to you.
I think Dane Coles is the better hooker.
Okay, so we'll go.
Dane Coles is the better hooker, but I do think we should have Brits on the tour.
Okay, yeah, he's on the bench.
I think we take him on the tour. He plays in the midweek side because he would be amazing to tour with. I'm sure there'd be a good night out.
Okay, number 3.
and then our other prop. There are some great contenders here. I think Furlong could be a bit of a standout, but I've gone for Owen Franks, and he's just got the most incredible record: 108 caps between 2009 2019. Never lost a World Cup match, and won 2 World Cups in 2011 and 2015.
Yeah. I think it was between him and Furlong for me. Although Carl Sinclair, because he's the only rugby player without a neck, and he's actually still pretty good. So, but no, I'm going to go. It was either Furlong or Franks for me. So it's down.
But I mean, Furlong is incredible.
Yeah,
he is incredible.
Yeah. I actually I had Franks for exactly the same reason. And that was who I was going towards, but Adam Jones as well, as a possibility, mainly
very good
as well. I mean, an absolute rock, but he just loves the game. So he's still part of the Quinn's coaching setup. He's bringing Sinclair through. So, I mean, he's certainly worth a mention, I would say.
Do you guys remember a cartoon from our childhood years called Captain Caveman?
No.
No? All right, this is just me. We'll edit this bit out because that's crashed and burned. But yeah, we'll social media manage that boy up there. We'll get a Captain Caveman. He looks like Adam Jones. Captain Caveman's amazing. I think Adam Jones is a very good shout. Actually, I don't think he's as strong as Franks, but he is a very good shout. Now, second row, I've kind of taken a bit of a pivot here because I started thinking more about like who I would like to see playing it rather than who I think the best players are. So I think probably the best second row combination is like Retallick and Alan Wynne-Jones. But I've gone for Retallick and Estevez. Retallick because of the dirty
Estevez.
Yeah.
Emilio
and
Estevez.
Estevez. But Estevez because of the sheer violence And I mean, like, I did think about having him and Lavanini in there because again, it would just be absolute carnage.
You love Lavanini.
The first aiders would be non-stop. They don't run out of stretchers. Like, it would be insane the number of people they'd be carrying off. But I've gone with big Eben because of his arms and sheer level of violence, and Retallack because of the mo.
What about Leone Nakawera?
Oh, okay.
The Fijian Olympic gold medalist.
Sure.
Plenty caps.
Plenty of pace.
Incredible offloads, and I don't think anyone's coming close to him in that side for him. and Emilio Estevez.
If we are not playing the Breakfast Club in our second row, then I don't know what
the Mighty Ducks.
There you go. We're going to pivot here. We're going with Emilio Estevez. Boise.
I'm going for the Flying V. So Emilio Estevez straight in.
Right.
So Estevez is in, right?
Shock choice is Emilio Estevez.
I was leaning towards the Fijian. I quite like that reasoning. And is there anyone else that I quite like? He's a bit left field, isn't he? So get him in. But I do think we need Alan Wynne-Jones in there as well. But I've got him at 5. So
do we want Leone and Alan? You are head of selection.
Yeah,
and you did caveat this that you wanted a side that would be entertaining.
I think hilarity. Yeah, like I mean, we'll see when we get to the back.
He's the best lock to ever play for Fiji, if not the world.
Yeah. Well, hang on. I mean, this is that. I think you're exactly right. Yeah, but okay. Then let's go with that. Let's go with that. Okay. We've got some proper ball players
YouTube
there.
Leone, and you will see.
Yeah, we've got some proper ball players. We've got Dane Coles at hooker as well, who is renowned for hanging out on the wing and doing some filthy little passes. Okay. Back row,
open side.
Well, okay, so I've picked a back row that is it's some of the nicest people in world rugby, actually. So I've gone quite a friendly but destructive back row. So I've gone Pocock and McCaw on the flanks. Pocock, I mean, he's just such a nice guy. Like, we might have to do that. I don't think he'll always be available for training because he might be off saving a tree or something like that. But what a guy. And then I've gone Kieran Reid at number 8. Mate, I mean, it's ridiculous. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And you've gone Reid at 8.
And I've gone I thought that Kieran Reid actually, after he got injured, for a while he wasn't coming back as strongly as I thought he should do to still be commanding the number 8 spot for the All Blacks. But he's even in the World Cup, he was still incredible against South Africa in that opening match.
I'm going to throw a left fielder in there at number 8.
Hello, another Fijian.
No.
Will Guinea, that's a real left.
Faf. No. Faf at 8.
No.
Sergio Parisi. He's. I'm sorry, that bloke is awesome. Bear in mind, he has been absolutely spanked every time he's turned up in Italy shirts, and everyone still thinks he is world class.
That is true.
Yeah. To play in that Italy side, and people still think you're good.
Yes,
like genuinely world class.
To get pumped time after time after time.
Yeah, I mean,
that is true. You make a very good point.
He's captained the team. He's captained the team to over 100 defeats. And people still think he's world class. That's what I mean.
Well, okay, there you go. If we stick him in this team, he can start to turn that ratio around. We
need one man throwing up some pizza dough, unless Ian can throw something up there.
No, I have McCaw, Pocock, and Reid, and I kind of just shoehorn them all in to get them all in the same team. But I wondered what you were going to say there, but. You've won. You had me at Parise.
Oh, thank you.
I think we should get Parise, and let's make him captain as well, so that he can actually start to write that ratio, because that is abysmal.
Richie won't be happy. I had him down as captain, but it's fine.
I know,
that's
but
all right.
he's, I know. No, look, I agree. But for that reason alone, let's make Parise captain so we can start to chip away at that horrendous record, because that is brutal. Okay, so that's our pack, and that's got a bit of anger in it. It's got a bit of style in it. It's got a bit of mongrel. There's a bit of everything. That's quite nice. There'll be a lot of good ball coming back to these dazzling individuals. So 9 and 10. 9 and 10. I have gone for the obvious choice. I think at 10 is Carter. But I have gone for the drinking Scotsman, Finn Russell. Because he loves the Iron Brew, and he's I started thinking, like, who would I love to see playing? And I think Finn Russell is class. I think some of the things he does with the rugby ball are pretty impressive. Okay,
going to throw something out there. Stephen Donald, who won the World Cup, and 2 days before the call-up was on a boat fishing. He didn't have signal. He came back, got a voicemail. We need you because everyone is injured. And he came on and won the World Cup. Sorry.
I mean, yes, but no. Amazing story. But that is proper Mighty Ducks.
Yeah.
Disney stuff.
Exactly.
So we could only play Donald if we're playing Emilio Estevez at 5.
Oh, he's definitely.
I think that's really.
The irony, he's the shortest of the Sheens, and he's now coming in at 5. But if anything, Emilio Estevez should be a scrum half, but it's fine.
Or coach. We can put him a coach, maybe.
Yeah.
He'd be an awesome coach.
I've got Aaron Smith as
number 9. I would Aaron Smith.
Aaron Smith as well.
Although I'd love, obviously, I'd love to go the blonde shell. But I don't know if he's got longevity.
I was going to say that's the reason why I didn't go Faf, and and I'm still quite bitter about the World Cup. But I don't think he's done it as long as Smith has. And plus, Aaron Smith keeps getting caught in toilets with women. And I think that's quite funny. So.
Yes, apparently so. You need to. I've been told to YouTube, but I haven't yet.
Allegedly.
Yes, allegedly.
Put that video up.
Well, we'll get some action. Someone will get some action. I don't know. But although I still love the Faf story with Tom Curry when he got back.
Oh.
And they were sitting in the team meeting room after the first time, and Curry just felt something on his shoulder, and he looked down or looked over to his shoulder, and it was just the World Cup winner's medal that Faf draped over his shoulder as he sat down. I'm
not sure.
It puts my Pictionary story into real context.
That is a sore winner. I tell you, that is.
So I don't know. Now I'm sort of going back for Faf in terms of winning the World Cup, and for just having the cojones to do that. But I think we've got to Aaron Smith. We've got Aaron Smith, don't we?
If you weren't a South African and you were playing in the same side as Faf at this level, I'm not sure you could take that. Like, if he's your countryman, sure, fantastic. But if you're anyone else, you'd punch him in the face.
Yeah, you would.
Okay, so Aaron Smith, and then Boise. What do you think about 9?
Well, 9. I had Aaron Smith as well.
Okay,
Aaron Smith. And 10. What do we feel about 10? Because I know Finn Russell's a bit of a joke.
It's got to be Carter.
Well, that's
for me.
Yeah.
I know it's an obvious one.
I had Carter, and it was obvious. But sometimes I think you have to go obvious when it's
particularly
it's
at 10.
Right.
Particularly at 10.
I do like the thought of Finn Russell in the team.
Okay. I mean, again, the celebrations afterwards.
We don't have a Scotsman, do we?
No, and I doubt we're going to.
Well, I mean, unless you're going to pick Hogg at 15. I mean, I haven't, but you could do.
I've got my 15 wrapped up. Don't you worry about that.
Okay, well, let's go for Finn Russell because if he's on form, he'll tear any defence to pieces. Okay. If he's not, then we've got the defence to cover it.
Yeah. Right. Inside centre, number 12. Okay,
so I've got Marnonu.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons. However, here's a cheeky stat for you. This decade, Owen Farrell has won not necessarily legally, 5 Premiership titles and 3 European titles. And he has scored the most points in international rugby this decade.
Right. That's like going Warren.
Couldn't agree more, Ollie.
You know, that's like
Great
going.
stat.
Now,
That's like going Gatlin is the best sprinter of all time, because of periods he's won loads of stuff, but he was on steroids, so it doesn't count.
it's not the same.
Farrell's not on steroids.
I mean, legally, we have to be very clear.
I think what do they call it, financial doping? I think that's the sort of term.
Foping.
That was the official term in the report, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is just financial
guilty of
doping.
foping.
Although, to be fair, this team will never actually play in a real match, so we could be steroided up to the max, actually. Yeah. But anyway,
I mean, that'd be amazing.
I've gone Marnanu just because I don't want Farrell. Yeah. I don't want Farrell in the side, but we're a democracy, so I will go with what their selection
Go on,
team
wants. What do you think?
I have Farrell.
12.
I thought Nonu was the obvious choice. And this is team of the decade. So you need the highest point scorer of the decade in there.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay.
And probably the best player. So I've got him down as captain as well.
Okay. 13. Let's go.
Lautenberg is not happy with that. Okay. Now, 13. I thought to begin with, I went Bod, because I think O'Driscoll is just an incredible player.
Yeah.
However, he did retire in 2014 and arguably played most of his best rugby in the decade previously. And I don't know if we're using the has to have played for at least 5 years at this level, within the decade. So I think Bod is a sensational, greatest sort of outside centre of all time. However, if we're not saying he's eligible, then I've actually gone for Jonathan Davies, because again, I think he's actually, I don't think he doesn't quite get as much credit, I think, as he probably deserves. But he is a fantastic player, really fantastic player.
Yeah, I've gone for Jonathan Davies as well. And adding to that, he performed in the 2011 World Cup, so he has actually played pretty much all of the decade, and at the highest level as well.
And had a very good Lions series as well. Like
exactly.
He's good.
Well, he replaced Bod in terms of Bod was stopped getting picked because of that. So, although Sonny Bill Williams is always up there for me though.
I do like a bit of Sonny Bill Williams.
He's got the smallest shorts also. It's just too funny. And the blokes he's done everything: cross code, boxing. Yeah. He's just
rugby league,
Warner's wife,
rugby union.
He's in.
He's not.
Does that count?
He's done everything and everyone.
Yeah. I'm not sure on his Wikipedia page that his cross-code achievements include getting a blowjob in a toilet from Dave Warner's wife.
That's what I meant, cross-code.
Yeah.
Just doing someone else's wife from a different sport. That's what cross-code is.
So there we go. Well, okay. I mean,
no, I think Jonathan Davies.
Jonathan Davies is the option.
Yeah.
Yes. But I do. I mean, Sonny Bill
bench, 100% coming off the bench.
Anyway. So there are centres then. Wings. Now, I've gone for one for G in here. I've gone for Namani Nalado, because he is outrageous. He is 130 kg and almost 2 meters tall, and that coming at you is fearsome. That's like the new Lomu. But then also on the other wing, now I think Brian Habana probably deserves it, although I didn't check when he retired actually.
Yeah.
Now, batshit crazy idea is
play 4-4-2.
Well, I love Damien McKenzie. Now, you can play him at 10 or you can play him at fullback, but I really wanted him in the side because he's just mental. So I stuck him on the wing. It's not a great choice, but I do love D-Mac. I'm
going to go, I've gone Habana on the one wing. One of the fastest guys to ever play the game. Joint leading try scorer in Rugby World Cup history. Raced a cheetah. which is just hilarious. I don't think there's any. For me, I think he's definitely just class. And then I've gone on the other wing, Julian Surveyor.
Very good.
46 tries, 54 tests.
Yeah, very, very good player. Very good player.
That's it.
I had
End
Surveyor
of my opinion.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah. For that reason.
So who's on the other wing?
Well, I had George North.
Did you? Do you know what? I mean, it's not crazy. It's not crazy at all. However, I've always been.
It sounds crazy now.
But you say like that. I'll be honest with you. That means you're going to say something.
Yeah, like with all due respect.
Yeah.
I've never been. Maybe it's just because he keeps getting injured or something like that. But I've always been a little bit disappointed with George North. I think he comes across as a great bloke. Like when he picked up, was it Falau he picked up in that Lions test?
I was going to bring that up just to. I thought that would sway it for you, if I'm honest.
Actually, it has. As I said it has. It's done. Yeah, North's in. Anyone who's dump tackled Falau is straight in.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't think North is as good as Habana. I think Brian Habana is just a legend, absolute legend of the game.
Yeah, racing the cheetah actually. Puts him in there.
Dump tackle a bigot or race a cheetah. I think we might go for race a cheetah
this time.
This time, yeah.
All right.
And then
speaking of bigots, I have gone.
Don't you dare! You have not put Falau at 15.
Well, if there's only one more place for him. I think, look, and I'm going to say this, bar all the other ridiculousness, he's probably the best fullback to ever play the game.
I mean, don't wind me up, mate. Don't wind me up. We need to win this pod eventually.
You have 2 options here. Dave Warner or Izzy Falau at fullback. You choose. And I'd like to win this match, so you choose wisely.
We can't have Warner in 2 teams of the decade.
Yeah, true.
You can't play that short fat fucker.
Okay, I'm going Izzy Falau just because I think.
No, I mean yes, you don't. I mean he is. Who
else? Actually, this isn't a wind up, but who did you have? Let's go for it.
So I first of all I considered Ben Smith because I've got a lot of time for Ben Smith.
Didn't you interview him?
Mate, it's funny you should say that. Yeah, I have interviewed Ben Smith.
Does he want to come on the pod now?
I haven't got his phone number. I got told to stop calling him. Actually,
been blocked on all forms.
So I said no Israel Folau because I mean I hate him, but I also think Folau is as an attacking fullback incredible. As a defensive fullback, he was regularly shown up. Like he was so often out of place, and that's why for me he's not the greatest fullback ever because he was one-sided in his game, only attacking. I've gone for Beauden Barrett because I think if you stick Beauden Barrett at fullback, even though he would probably prefer to play 10, I think Beauden Barrett at fullback is very good.
Better than Ben Smith.
Okay, it's a tough one. Maybe we shouldn't put Beauden Barrett there because actually I don't think he's played that long at fullback. Like it was only the last couple of years where the All Blacks started experimenting with him there and Moanga at 10. So maybe I can't go. Maybe I can't go Barrett there. So yeah, Ben Smith would be mine. Ian, the accountant.
Who have you got?
I had Ben Smith down. Okay. Similar reasons we can't put Falau in. On moral grounds, we can't put him in the team. It was bad enough putting Warner in.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
You can have one. You can't have both.
Yeah. Warner has slept with Izzy Falau's wife, so it's okay. He's gone cross code.
Yeah.
Not crossing swords, cross code. Very different. Very different.
This is dangerous. I mean, luckily no one listens to this podcast. If they did, we'd be in so much trouble.
Oh, you're right. Actually, sorry. Allegedly.
Just in case some lawyer gets hold of this. So, okay. Now,
none of the opinions on this podcast have any factual base. That's the disclaimer, right?
Yeah. And opinions are all Gareth's.
Yes.
As well. So we will write that up. That sounds like quite an unstoppable 15.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that.
quite a punchy 15. Now it's quite exciting. It's quite exciting. So, we've rambled on for an hour, with varying degrees of quality of chat as we've gone. Before we wrap up, predictions for the weekend, Six Nations.
Who?
So we've got
England, France.
We've got England, France on the Sunday. We've got Wales, Italy is the opening game, and Ireland, Scotland.
Is Parisi's retired, right? So I'm going to go Wales. I'm going to go Italy to win, just to really rub it in his face.
Can you imagine? Oh my God.
I'm not sure he'd retired, but he didn't get selected. I think was what happened.
Brutal.
I'd love it if they turn around and win. The reason we've lost all these test matches is because of Parisi.
His leadership.
Complete blame culture. We need to mix it up, and because you've cost us 100 tests you captained us.
100 tests. Wales, Italy, and then they're playing. I mean, it doesn't matter where they're playing, but they're playing in Cardiff. We assume a resounding
could be playing in the
Wales
Colosseum. They've still got no chance.
Lions and Tigers in there as well.
They've still got no chance.
Do we assume a comfortable Wales win?
I don't think it's going to be as comfortable as everyone thinks. It's a new Wales coaching setup, isn't it? They've lost Gatland, lost Edwards. Where did Edwards go? Did he go to Italy?
Is he gone to Italy?
No,
that
France.
Would be amazing.
He's gone to France. He's in the French
amazing.
coaching setup.
And they've lost Rob Howley as well because he's...
Well, why don't you ask him for his predictions? He should know. Just give us the odds or something. I don't know.
Actually, I mean, from what I remember, he was actually $4,000 in debt when he got caught. So I think actually we should probably. He's as good at predictions.
Tell
as
you
we
what,
are.
he might do a pod for like 20 quid or something because he needs the money. Ollie, could you please send him a message?
I will tweet to Howley. So here we go. So Boise, you're predicting a slim Wales win.
Yeah, 21-15. I'm going to go.
May that be a good game. Gareth, how about you?
I'm going to go Wales, but also I think it's going to be a scratchy performance. I don't think they're going to be fluent in any way. But I think they'll run away at the end a little bit. 28-15.
Nice. I'm going to go Wales win. I think it's going to be 33-12.
No one's writing this down. So
I mean, fuck. Christ, no one's listening.
Our producer is writing this down.
Isn't that your son? Because he's still not asleep.
Yeah. That's you. You're the producer.
We should have discussed this. Ireland, Scotland in Dublin. That'd be a good game, actually. Scotland are without Finn Russell because he's playing for our side.
Finn Russell's in the beer tent.
Drinking pints.
28-9 to Ireland.
28-9. Comfortable win.
Yeah.
25-12.
25-12 Ireland. I'm going to go 19-12. 19-12 to Ireland. And then Le Crunch in Paris, France, England on Sunday. Lots of people predicting France are going to win the whole thing. Actually,
big England win.
Oh, really? Big England win.
42-19.
Damn,
that is ridiculous. I think you're doing it just so they lose. Actually,
no. Hang on, I'd like to just clarify this before we wrap up tonight. If South Africa are not involved, I support England categorically.
Right. Okay, so 42-19.
End of sentence.
I mean, that 42-19, that is going to be an entertaining game of rugby.
Oh.
Points galore, mate.
I've got the best number 12 in the world ever to play in the last decade.
Correct.
He's a points machine. Can't tackle, but a points machine.
Oh, we're not having this debate again.
Not at quarter to 11.
25-20.
Oh, nice.
25-20. Damn, that'd be to England.
To England. Yeah.
Okay. To Fiji.
I mean, brilliant. That'd be amazing. I think England will win this one. Actually, I think England are going to win this one. It's going to be 28 to England and 15 to France.
Nice.
So, yeah. Again, no one's written these down. Doesn't matter in the slightest. Not entirely sure anyone's listening still. But
yes, someone's out there.
Someone's out there.
Someone's out there. Howley. Not Howley's listening. He's sending a message.
For these predictions.
Heading down to the bookies as we speak.
What did the boys think?
What was that?
Anyway, another
message.
I don't think that was me this time.
There's an alien.
Siri or Alexa or something has kicked in. Anyway, lads, gentlemen.
Isn't in your find people list.
I don't even know what this. I apologise. My friend next to me is
been hacked.
So,
we've been hacked.
On that note, have a good week, lads. Speak soon. Go well.
All the best. Cheers. Go well.